RiverBender.com's coverage of today's event is brought to you by Macias Insurance Agency, your local independent insurance agent. Midwest Members Credit Union, the one place to go for all your banking needs. Liberty Bank, bank local, bank Liberty. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Lewis and Clark Community College, empowering people. Brightway Imaging, lower cost exams with transparent pricing. Let Brightway show you a smarter healthcare solution.
Black Sporting Goods, stop in and see the difference today. Bella Flooring, here to help you find the right floor for your home. B-Dry Solutions, waterproofing and foundation repair.
Respect for one another and reward them for their perseverance. Lead us all to the rewards of your kingdom where you live and reign forever. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
The national anthem was performed by the Marquette Alumni Band.
National anthem and the opening prayer prior to tonight's season opening game between the homestanding Marquette Explorers and the visiting Civic Memorial Eagles. Hi again, everybody. My name is Sam Stem. Alongside, it's Jeff Alsman in the Barrett Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. And after a delay of about 45 minutes, we are set for football. We understand there have been a host of cancellations in and around the area. Some other teams still trying to get their games in.
At the prayer, maybe there was some intervention to be able to let this one happen. As there's still rain all around the area and a few storms maybe to the south, and hopefully they will veer away from the RiverBend area and miss us. But it looks like once they get this one underway, we'll be able to play it throughout. And it's just one more factor, Sam, added into the opening night jitters. Now you got a wet field. You got some kids playing for the first time. You got a wet football. It's almost like there are so many unknowns in an opening game anyway. Now you just add all of the weather-related factors in there, and almost anything could happen on a night like this.
A light rain falling as we speak, and we expect light to moderate rain throughout the game. The good news is the field in pretty good shape because it's the season opener. Nobody's chewed it up yet, but they may have a chance to do that here tonight. I checked down with the coaches a little while ago, and they said they'd been down on the field, and it was in pretty good shape. It's taken the water pretty well, so we'll be cognizant of that. But as we get started, high hopes for everybody in a season opener. Nobody's quite sure what they've got. They think they have some idea, but until you put the kids out there on the field and snap the football, you're really not sure. Both teams returning quite a bit of experience from teams that were young teams last year. The Eagles went 3-6 last year. They opened with 2 victories in the first 2 weeks of the season last year. Started 2-0, and they were 3-2 at one point, but then lost their last 4 games of the season. Finished 3-6. They have some experience back. Their quarterback, a 3-year starter now, Noah Turbyfill, is back this year. He threw for 1,100 yards last year. And their leading rusher, Nick Walker, back as well, and some talented receivers as well for the Eagles. For the Explorers, they have to fill the shoes of their leader from last year, Caleb Ware, their senior quarterback last year, of course, graduated. But they've got a junior quarterback, Jake Hewitt, who was on the team last year but was not eligible to play because he had transferred into the program. But the coaches tell me he showed up for every practice last year. He learned the offense. He executed the offense as a practice player, and they think he's set and ready to go. They say he's big, he's strong, and he's quick, so he'll try to be their leader. Cliff Chandler will be the starting running back for the Explorers. He, as a freshman last year, started the last 4 or 5 games and rushed for nearly 500 yards in those starts, and they're really high on him. And the fact that it's a cool evening, it's wet, but it's cool. You know, normally we're used to 95-degree Friday nights as the season starts in August, but we don't have that here tonight. And that may bode well for Marquette because they don't have quite as much depth as the Eagles. And, Marquette is always concerned early in the season when you have a hot game and you got a lot of kids going both ways, so the cool weather may help them out in that regard a little bit. But We're going to find out here in a moment, aren't we?
Well, you look at Civic Memorial, and you mentioned they got off to a good start last year, and then you get into that conference schedule, and that's always tough when you've got the Highlands and the Triads. Waterloo can be good as well. Jerseyville is always somewhere above average. So, you know, your last half of that season can be really tough. Marquette has a little bit easier ride through their conference, generally speaking. So their early season may not be as much of a predictor as to how they're going to finish because they have some easier games when they get into that later season play. But every season starts over. Everybody's 0-0 right now. You don't really know what the other teams have either. So there'll be a little bit of a feeling out time. And EM, it looks like, will be on defense. I think Marquette won the toss, and I think they've elected to take the football.
They did. They did.
So we'll get to see their offense right away and see how they react here on the wet field.
This is the 6th straight season that Marquette and CM have opened the season. In the previous 5, CM has won 4 of the 5. The only Marquette victory in the renewal of this rivalry was 2 years ago right here on this field when the Explorers defeated the Eagles 21-7. Back in 14 when they renewed the rivalry in Bethalto, the Eagles won that one 49-7. 2015, it was the Eagles 50-21 here at Public School Stadium. Back in Bethalto in 16, 30-0 Eagles. And as I said, 2 years ago, right here on this field, Public School Stadium, the Explorers won it 21-7. And last year, the Eagles prevailed in Bethalto 28-13. And the Explorers are bound and determined they're going to start with a victory, but so are the Eagles. So we're going to find out. Light rain falling. An unbelievably good crowd on hand, despite the 45-minute delay. Quite a few people. I wish I had the umbrella concession.
Yeah, or the poncho.
Yes.
Either one.
Yeah, because there are plenty of those. But we're high and dry up here in the Barrett Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. We are set for action. The Eagles have the ball teed at their own 40-yard line. Back deep for Marquette, Zach Smith and Cliff Chandler. And the Eagles put a toe to it, and it's a line drive kick. Zach Smith takes it on a short hop. Up the left side he goes across the 20 to the 25, crosses the 25, still on his feet across the 30, out to the 35-yard line. And 1st and 10 for the Explorers right there. I thought Smith started out rather gingerly, like he was afraid of the wet field, but then he carried tacklers with him for about 10 yards.
Yeah, he really did better after contact. He was kind of dancing around a little bit, picked up at least, I'd say, 7 or 8 yards after that initial contact, and pretty good field position here to start for the Explorers on their own 34-yard line.
The second game of our broadcast doubleheader tonight, Carlinville at Roxana, has been postponed. So this is our single broadcast here this evening. Jake Hewitt, the junior quarterback, takes his first snap. Quick pass out to the right side, completes it to Fields, and he is brought down after a 10-yard gain. He's going to be very, very close to a first down. Just a quick out to the right side from Jake Hewitt to Devon Fields. And it is a first down for the Explorers on the 10-yard gainer.
So a nice, safe pass to start things out, but interesting. Marquette coming out quickly, throwing the football.
Well, a lot of times on a wet field, the offense has the advantage.
You're right.
They know where they're going, and the defense doesn't. Fields now splits wide to the right side. Marquette goes with the spread offense. 2 receivers to each side of the field. Hewitt in the pistol formation takes a snap, hands it to Chandler. Cliff Chandler hit behind the line of scrimmage and brought down for no gain. Actually a loss of a yard, maybe 2 on that carry, as there was just no running room there at all. Slow developing play, and they put Chandler down at the 37, a loss of 2. Well, he can't make up his mind. Yeah, we'll call it a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11 for the Explorers, just shy of their own 43-yard line. Quick pass out to the right side for Fields, and that one was behind him. He was open. And actually, I think Hewitt thought Fields was going to button hook there, and Fields kept running up the field. The pass went behind him incomplete, bringing about 3rd and long.
So now it's going to put Marquette in a likely throwing position here. They've got to get across midfield to the 46-yard line of the Eagles to pick up the first down and keep the drive going.
All on the near hash mark as the Explorers go from our left to our right. Just underway. We played less than a minute. Marquette with the first possession, trips to the left. That's the wide side of the field, empty backfield. Hewitt now puts Chandler in motion and hands him the football. Chandler trying to sweep that left side with blockers out front, but he can't turn the corner. Good defensive play there by the Eagles to throw Chandler for a loss of a couple and bring about a punting situation for Marquette.
That's going to be about a 3-yard loss as they're going to spot it at the 41, and he just never had a chance to get around the corner. He had one blocker in front of him, but he missed the block, and then it was 2 Eagles on 1 Explorer, and no chance for Marquette to get around the corner and get any running room.
That was Dylan Dublo who came up from the defensive backfield to make that tackle, throw Chandler for a 2-yard loss. So it's 4th and 13 for the Explorers, and Jonah Fanistock, their punter, into the game. A lone return man back for the Eagles stands at his own 25-yard line awaiting this kick. Fanistock gets a good snap and a high short kick. The Eagles will let it hit, and it takes a bounce out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will start their first possession of 2019.
And you never know about special teams, too, on a wet field. Hunting a wet football, trying to catch it, trying to snap it. I mean, all of that comes into play when the football gets wet.
So Marquette got 1 first down on their first possession. That was on the first play, a 10-yard pass. And then 2 running plays, lost yardage, an incomplete pass, and a punt. And so now the Eagles starting 1st and 10. And the football at their own 35-yard line. Smack dab on the 35. And Noah Turbyfield, the senior quarterback, under center. 3 backs behind him, and turns and gives it to one of those running backs, and he finds some running room to the right side, powers forward for a gain of about 3. That was Kieran Parchman, sophomore running back, and he picks up 4 out to the 39-yard line.
So the Eagles stacking the backfield and running a power offense here on that first play. Now they're going to spread it out. So it looks like they're going to show a few different things here to open the game.
2 receivers to each side of the field. And Turbyfield in the shotgun on 2nd and 6. Eagles from their own 39. Here's the give to Walker right up the middle. Nick Walker dragging tacklers with him. Has a first down out to the 45-yard line. He was hit at about the 41 and dragged tacklers for another 4 yards. First down, Eagles.
Walker just running straight ahead, and you mentioned it. He brought some tacklers with him, showing that he's tough to bring down. He did a lot of the running last year for the Eagles, and starts right where he left off.
The Eagles have a new offensive coordinator this year. He stands over on the far sideline in his yellow slicker. It's the Hall of Famer, Rick Reinhardt. Now here's the give up the middle. Another running play for the Eagles right up the gut, and a 5-yard pickup on that carry, and that was Nick Walker once again. And that Eagle offensive line doing a good job of moving the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nothing fancy, just running straight ahead.
Walker now 2 carries for 9 yards. 2nd and 5, Eagles. Rick Reinhardt, who the last 3 years was the head coach in Collinsville, and before that up at Tuscola where he won a state championship. Before that, a year at Marquette. Before that, many years at Civic Memorial. And in the Illinois High School Coaches Hall of Fame. Now here is the give, and it's Parchman going the other way on a counter. And Parchman on that wing counter crosses midfield and takes it down to the Explorer 48-yard line. A gain of 2 is going to bring about 3rd and 3.
Like he might have been able to pick up a few more yards. He got around the corner and then kind of hesitated a couple of steps and tried to juke, and it didn't work. If he just kept going full speed around that corner, he might have picked up the extra 3 yards, but they're short right now. The first down.
3rd and 3 Eagles, a wing to the right, a receiver to the right, a pair of backs behind Turbyfield, who's under center. On the 3rd down play, here's the give to Parchman. Parchman hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces off a tackler, and has first down yardage down at the Explorer 45-yard line. He needed 3. He got 3. First down Eagles, their 2nd of this drive.
And that was second effort that time as he was hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Marquette playing a 3-4 defense. That's a change for them. They've been a 4-3 alignment in the past. This year switching to 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. 1st and 10 Eagles just inside the Marquette 45-yard line. Turbyfill in the pistol, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, launches it deep down the right sideline, incomplete. Good coverage back there for Marquette, and Turbyfill just overthrew everybody as there really wasn't anything there. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And that was good coverage by the Marquette cornerback over there. As you mentioned, he was right with his man. No chance for the Eagles to complete that pass. Even if it had been thrown better, it was overthrown and out of bounds. But it was a tough kick.
Colton Wood River playing down in Breeze against Central tonight. They're in a lightning delay with 10:19 left in the first quarter, so they got underway and then almost immediately had a delay. Light rain falling here. On 2nd and 10, Eagles, here's the give to Walker, tries to kick it outside to the right side. He does and has good yardage down the right sideline, inside the 35, down to about the 33-yard line. A gain of 11 and another Eagle first down.
Well, Walker showed there he's got size and he's got speed. He can go straight up the middle, or he can get around the end, get around the corner, and he's fast enough.
Well,
and there's a quick 11 yards. He looks like he's just tough to bring down.
Well, it was an 11. I guess he stepped out of bounds before he was brought down, so he picks up only 9. It's 3rd and about a foot. Just outside the Explorer 35-yard line, and there's a first down for the Eagles as they gave it. I think that was Walker again. And right up the middle he went, and he picked up the first down. He picked up 3. It was Walker. He took it down to the 32-yard line. He got the first down on that try. The 3rd first down of this drive for the Eagles. Walker now 4 carries for 22 yards. And so far, the field doesn't seem to be a problem. I haven't seen anybody slip. Players cut, and so far so good, despite all the rain. Late this afternoon, early this evening. Here is Turbyfill back to throw. Down the middle he goes. Did he catch it, or is it incomplete? I think he caught it. Thought maybe it came out, but it was completed. Tried to pick up the number of the receiver. I think that was number 12. It was his brother, his little brother, Logan Turbyfill. So Noah Turbyfill to Logan Turbyfill from the 32 down to the 18-yard line, and pick up a 14 and another first down. First and 10 Eagles. Here's the give to Parchment, trying to turn that right corner, try to split a couple of defenders, and they held on and brought him down after a gain of a couple. We'll wait for him to put it down. I think they're going to put it down right on the 15-yard line, so a gain of 3 on that carry for Parchment. So Noah Turbyfill to Logan Turbyfill for 14 on that pass completion. 4 first downs on this drive for the Eagles, which started at their own 35-yard line. They now face a 2nd down, and now we've got a timeout. Timeout, Eagles. It comes with 6:16 remaining. Well, the clock's still running. Eagles timeout. 6:11 remaining in the first quarter. No score. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Who I am is not important, but what I am is, and that's a satisfied customer of B-Dry. Not just once, but many times. B-Dry has provided solutions for both basement waterproofing and foundation issues, as well as installation of a new basement egress window. And I'm happy to report that B-Dry has cured the wet basement, crawl space, and foundation blues for thousands of homeowners over 60 years with lifetime transferable warranties. And they'll do the same for you. So call 800-966-2379 or go to bdrysolutions.com.
Black Sporting Goods has been a fixture in the Riverbend since 1955, offering the highest quality sporting goods from brands like Adidas, Rawlings, Wilson, Mizuno, Marucci, and Asics. We're a custom team outfitter, providing uniforms and accessories to programs ranging from colleges to park and rec teams. Our retail store at 2720 Groveland Street in Godfrey affords what is becoming a unique experience: the ability to touch, feel, try on, and get expert insight into the right equipment for each.
7600.
You're in tune to WBGZ Alton. Riverbend High School football on the air. Despite a 45-minute rain delay, we're playing high school football here at Public School Stadium in Alton. 2nd and 7 Eagles at the Marquette 15-yard line. Here is the give to Parchment, right up the middle, big hole inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. And a pickup of 6 on that carry for the sophomore running back for the Eagles brings about 3rd and short.
So far, the Eagles have been running the ball to the right side, so it makes you think that they feel like they might have found a weakness on that side of the line, the defensive line for Marquette. Other than Walker going straight up the middle, most of their runs have been to that direction.
3rd and a long yard for the Eagles. They explore 9-yard line. Kirbyfield turns, gives it to Walker, tries to kick it outside to the left side. He's got first down yardage. He's in for the touchdown. Nick Walker, a 9-yard touchdown run, and the Eagles take the early lead.
Well, just as we say, everything was running to the right. The first time they run to the left, it's good for 9 yards, and the first score.
The play was designed to go off tackle, and Walker just kicked it outside to the left side and beat the defenders to the pylon. 9-yard run, and now the extra point attempt upcoming. The Eagles leading at 6-0 here with 5:29 remaining here in the first quarter. Marquette took the opening kickoff, picked up 1 first down, but then had to punt. And the Eagles have fashioned a 65-yard touchdown drive, and now they'll go for 2. Turbyfill in the pistol. Sid himself now going to throw it over the middle. He's got his man for the 2-point conversion. Making the reception was number 1, and that's Huron Parchman. And so the 2-point conversion is good. 5:29 remaining first quarter. It's the Eagles 8, the Explorers nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Black Sporting Goods has been a fixture in the Riverbend since 1955, offering the highest quality sporting goods from brands like Adidas, Rawlings, Wilson, Mizuno, Marucci, and Asics. We're a custom team outfitter, providing uniforms and accessories to programs ranging from colleges to park and rec teams. Our retail store at 2720 Groveland Street in Godfrey affords what is becoming a unique experience: the ability to touch, feel, try on, and get expert insight into the right equipment for each athlete. Stop in and see the difference today.
We will always focus on the families as well. We will always use one strive to
Jeff Olson stands down back in the Barrett Heating and Cooling broadcast booth at Public School Stadium in Alton. All set for the Eagle kickoff. CM, their first possession of the season, goes 65 yards. Together 5 first downs and ends it with a 9-yard touchdown run by Nick Walker. The 2-point conversion makes it 8-0. And Zach Smith will return for the Explorers from his own 15, out across the 20, 25, out to the 30, out to the 33 or 34-yard line. And the Explorer offense will take the field once again. Marquette picked up a first down on their first possession of the game and then had to punt. And that led to the 65-yard drive. Nice drive by the Eagles.
It was a nice drive. They pretty much kept the ball on the ground for most of it, other than the one pass to one Turbyfield to the other.
14-yard pickup on that completion.
Marquette starting again on their 34. That's where they started last time. That was a pretty good return, 15 yards, so straight up the gut.
Marquette now in the spread, 2 receivers each side of the field. Your quarterback, Jake Hewitt, takes the snap. Quick pass out to the right side. Devin Fields tried to make the reception. He went up. The ball went through his hands, but he was nailed by a pair of Eagle defenders and just couldn't hang on.
Well, that was the same pass that they started the game with, their first play, and it was wide open. CM defended it much better this time, and it would have been a very tough catch.
Second down and 10 for the Explorers midway through the first quarter. We started 45 minutes late. It was slated for a 7 o'clock kickoff. I know some of the area games have been postponed, including Roxana and Carlinville, which was supposed to be our second broadcast tonight. They're going to play tomorrow. So the Oilers are down in Breeze taking on Central, and they're in a lightning delay early in the first quarter. Now here's the give to Cliff Chandler, trying to turn the right corner. A flag is thrown. Chandler goes nowhere, could not get back to the line of scrimmage, and that flag will be bad news for Marquette as well. And now the Eagles have to decide, do they want the Explorers in 2nd and 20 or 3rd and 10?
Because it's in a spot where it's likely to be holding.
It is a hold against the Explorers. If the play stands, it's a 2-yard loss, 3-yard loss back to the 31. And the Eagles, I think, are going to decline it and force Marquette into 3rd and 13 rather than 2nd and 20. They do decline. So with 5:08 remaining in the first quarter, the Explorers facing 3rd and long once again. A reminder that following the game, we'll name the Munganast Alton Toyota Player of the Game. I say we, but I'll make it up. If anybody's upset, they'll be upset with me.
Yeah, you're putting a lot of pressure on them.
You're harder to
First
find.
broadcast of the year.
You're harder to find than I am.
People can't get to Florida. Is that the idea?
Now,
well, they're going to take the
the
penalty.
Eagles changed their mind. Apparently, there was some debate over on the sideline. Alton Redbirds playing up in Moline. Their season opener, and Moline leads 8-0. 9:39 remaining in the first quarter. So it's 2nd and 20 for the Explorers. Here is Hewitt right up the middle. Take a handoff to Chandler. Kept it himself. And on his feet all the way out. Now flags are thrown as there's some pushing and shoving after the play. I think they ruled Hewitt down at about the 36-yard line. He didn't think he was down. He kept going. And then as the whistles blew, flags were thrown. I don't know if they're going to flag Hewitt for continuing to run after the whistle, or they're going to flag the Eagles for hitting him after the whistle.
Right now they put
Maybe
the ball.
they just pick it up.
Yeah, you mentioned they put the ball down at 6.
Oh, it would have been a pickup of 12 on the play, which was 2nd and 20. And this is going to go against Marquette. The personal foul against the Explorers.
So will it be from where the flag is, or from where the ball sits, or from the original line of scrimmage? After the play?
I think where the play ended. Will the down count, or will they get the down over again? I have to figure that out. So I guess when Hewitt tried to keep going.
So they'll get the 12-yard play and then lose 15.
So it's going to be, they've got 3rd down on the marker, so I think they counted the play. Did they count the play? They must have. They've got 3rd down on the marker. So it was a 12-yard pickup for Hewitt, 15-yard penalty against the Explorers, second major penalty of this possession. And it's 3rd and 23. Hewitt back to throw, quick pass out to the right side, incomplete. And it will bring about a punting situation for the Explorers. So that was a dead ball foul. And they counted the play. The 12 yards counted on 2nd and 20. And then they walked off the 15 after the play. The down counted. And then on 3rd and 23, an incomplete pass out to the left side. And Marquette will have to punt once again.
CM's going to get really good field position.
Very good field position, aren't they? Jonah Conestock stands back at his own 6-yard line awaiting the snap and punt formation for the Explorers.
With the punt, it gets out to the 34-yard line.
PM return man stands at his own 47-yard line. It's a low snap. Conestock kicks the ball off the turf.
Can you do that?
Well, it's a drop kick, right? And
it
goes down. Well, it hit his hands, didn't it? It fell to the turf, and then he kicked it. So in essence, it's a drop kick, and it rolls dead out at the Explorer 34-yard line.
I thought
normally you
stayed
can't
in front of him short. I didn't think he touched it until he kicked it.
No flags on the play. Yes, if you're a kicker, you can kick it.
All I know is he saw 3 guys coming at him and said, "Get this thing out of here." And at least it worked.
Well, if it hit him, then it's in essence a drop kick. If it didn't hit him, he probably shouldn't have been able to kick it. But no flags on the play. So it becomes a short punt. And 1st and 10 Eagles at the Marquette 34-yard line. CM leading 8-0 here with 4:31 remaining in the first quarter. Kirby Phil, the wing to the right, a pair of backs behind him. Under center, takes the snap, turns, gives it to Parchman. All kinds of running room to the right side. Parchman down the right sideline. Parchman still on his feet inside the 15 down to around the 10-yard line where he's knocked out of bounds. And a pickup of about 24 on that carry for Huron Parchman, and the right side of the Eagle line did a great job of clearing defenders and giving Parchman all kinds of running room. Where are they going to say he went out? All the way down at the 14-yard line. They say he stepped out. So a pickup of 20 on that carry for Parchman. And another first down for the Eagles. They're sixth here in the first quarter.
And again, running that ball to the right side.
And the Marquette defense has not had many answers. 1st and 10 Eagles at the Marquette 14. Full house backfield, double tight. Turbyville under center, long count. On the first down play, here is the give to Walker. Walker tries the left side of the line, takes it down to the 11. A gain of 3 on that carry. Walker 5 carries for 25 yards. Parchman 6 carries for 38 yards. PM with 14 yards passing, and that's with a quarterback who passed for 1,100 last year.
He really hasn't needed to throw it so far, and it might be smart to just keep running it the way the field is. And it keeps the clock moving. We're down to, under 4 minutes now?
3:49 and counting remaining here in the first quarter. CM leading 8-0 and knocking on the door. Second down and 7 at the Explorer 11. Here is Turbyville going to run with it himself. I think that was a busted. And Turbyville loses a yard back to the 12, brings about a big third down play here.
Yeah, he was supposed to give that ball to Parchman on a jet sweep, and he ran right past him, but the snap was high, and he bobbled it, could not hand it off, and he had to just try to run with it himself.
So 3rd and 8 Eagles at the Marquette 12-yard line. Big third down play here. And I would suspect it's 4-down territory for the Eagles because they went for 2 on their extra point attempts. So if you don't feel like you can kick an extra point, you're probably not going to kick a 30-plus yard field goal at this part of the field either. So the Eagles with 2 downs to pick up 8 yards. Here's a pass out to the left side, and that is incomplete. That might be offensive interference. The intended receiver in the end zone for the Eagles fell down, and the Marquette defender, Devon Fields, was going for an interception, and I think maybe the Eagle receiver reached up and grabbed him. A flag was thrown. Either that or they're going to rule Marquette pushed the receiver down to begin with, but I think he just fell down. And the officials talk it over. Let's see what the indication is. Holding against Marquette. So that would be a 5-yard walk-off and a first down, right?
Should be. I guess he reached out to. I didn't really see
the flag. Didn't come down until the defender lunged for the football. It tripped over the receiver. So I don't know where they saw the hold. They saw something, and that is a 5-yard walk-off. Automatic first down. No, actually, I think they walked half the distance to the goal line.
3rd and a long one. It
Third,
like.
3rd and almost 2.
3 penalties on Marquette now for 25 yards.
So it was half the distance to the goal. Where's the line of scrimmage? The 6-yard penalty. Third.
See, that's the dark end of the field.
3rd and a long yard for the Eagles at the Explorer 6. And now here is Turbyville right up the middle. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. 6-yard touchdown run for the senior quarterback, Noah Turbyville. And the Eagles are 2 for 2. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Again, a high snap, but I think that was a designed quarterback run right from the beginning, and he had a big hole easily into the end zone.
The Eagles now with 7 first downs on the night. The Explorers with 1. And all Civic Memorial here in the early going. So Walker a 6-yard touchdown run, and now Noah Turbyville 6-yard touchdown run. 9 yards for Walker, 6 for Turbyville. 2-point conversion attempt right here for the Eagles. It's Turbyville rolling to his right, looks into the end zone. He's got a short man. He's got him, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. See who that was.
Vallow Flooring in Edwardsville, Illinois, has been serving our greater Metro East communities for over 55 years. Whether you're looking for the latest styles in carpet, vinyl tile, hardwood, or ceramic tile, Vallow can help you find the right floor for your home with every budget in mind. Quality products, 5-star service, and guaranteed installation makes Vallow your number one choice. Check out our design center and flooring outlet to talk with our experienced staff today so you can live better tomorrow.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Very good for the Civic Memorial Eagles, who have put together 2 touchdown drives on their first 2 possessions, added a pair of 2-point conversions. They lead it 16-0, and Marquette on 2 possessions has 1 first down, and that was on their first play from scrimmage, a 10-yard completion. So now, as the kicker approached the football, I think the ball fell off the tee. He contacted it anyway, but the whistles had blown prior to that.
Punt it when it's laying on the ground, but not on the kickoff.
I don't know. I don't know who this kicker is. He's 56. They don't have a 56 on their roster. I'd like to give him credit. Now somebody's going to. I guess it must be getting a little windy down there because although the flag is flying limp, somebody was holding the ball on the tee. A short kick taken by one of the upmen for the Explorers, and he takes it back to about the. They're going to give him forward progress to the 39. They are. On the return for the Explorers was Brett Terry, senior wide receiver, as it was a short kick by the Eagles. And Marquette, in a critical situation here, they desperately need to get their offense rolling. With 2:12 remaining here in the first quarter, and they're in a 16-0 hole. Give that defense some rest.
Yeah, no doubt.
And the Eagle defense is well rested. Giving up 1 first down, so they haven't been out there for very many plays here in the first quarter. Jake Hewitt takes the snap, keeps it himself after faking a handoff to Chandler, and he crosses the 40, just shy of the 41-yard line. A gain of 2 on that carry for Jake Hewitt. He bellied the football to Chandler, who went to the left, and then Hewitt just went right smack dab up the middle and picked up 2. Field splits wide to the right side, and in the right slot, 2 more receivers wide to the left. Zach Smith in the right slot, and a lone setback behind Hewitt, who drops the throw. Now steps up, he's going to run with it, hit and coughs up the football, and the Eagles have recovered at the Explorer 46-yard line. It is Eagles football.
Boy, Walker put a big hit on Hewitt and jarred that, or it wasn't Walker, he recovered the fumble. Somebody put a big hit on Hewitt and jarred that football loose.
So the first turnover of the ball game, and Hewitt did take a pretty vicious hit there. And Eagles are back in business in Marquette territory.
They started on their own 45 and then on the Marquette.
They started at their own 35, then at the 35. Marquette 34, I think.
Now they're at the Marquette 45. It's only been playing on half the field.
With the rain falling and the Eagles leading 16-0, CM now with the football, 1st and 10. 2 receivers to each side of the field. Turbyfill under center. Turns, gives it to Walker. Right up the middle he goes. And stopped for a short gain on that carry. Not much running room there. A gain of 1. Actually, that time it was the first carry of the night for Christensen. Riley Christensen picked up a yard right up the gut. Second down and 9 for the Eagles as we're down to 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. Public School Stadium, Alton. Number of postponements around the area, including our second broadcast of the night. Roxana hosting Carlinville. That's been postponed to tomorrow. Alton Redbirds playing up in Olean. We're trailing 8-0 early first quarter. Here is the give, and this is Parchman trying to turn that right corner. A flag is thrown. Parchman is buried over against the far sideline, and he's a little slow getting up. He was really hammered out of bounds, but it's going to be a hold against the Eagles. And the Eagles, for the first time tonight, will face a long yardage situation. Sure, Marquette.
Like that penalty will set up about a 2nd and 15. They're going back to the line of scrimmage to walk it off, so it'll be a 2nd and 20.
Now the game down in Breeze between Breeze Central and the East Alton Wood River Oilers has been postponed. They were underway early, played less than 2 minutes before they had a lightning delay, and now they have postponed until 6:30 tomorrow evening. So the Shells postponed until tomorrow, the Eagles postponed until tomorrow. So that's the first penalty of the night against the Eagles. The 10-yard walk-off, and now we have a timeout on the field.
They faked it. There is no timeout.
There is no timeout on the field.
Oh, the officials aren't going to let them snap it.
Well, for whatever reason, the PA announcer said timeout on the field. I don't know.
It looked like it. They went over in mass to huddle, and then in mass came running. And when Marquette came over, assuming it was a timeout, the CM players all ran up to the line of scrimmage to snap the football.
A little deviousness there. I don't think you can legally huddle on the sideline.
I don't think you're supposed to come outside of the
hash mark. Yeah. Well, I think the quarterback was going over to get some.
Now he can get advice.
Yeah, he can. The quarterback, and now the officials are talking it over, and I think they may be asking whether maybe there ought to be a penalty here, and I think they're just going to let them play on. But you're right. The entire CM huddle went over to the far sideline. That's what led the PA announcer and everybody else to assume there was a timeout on the field. So the Explorers, seeing that, headed over here to the near sideline. And just as they got to the sideline, the Eagles broke to the line of scrimmage and set up, and then the officials stopped everything as the Explorers were sprinting, trying to get into defensive position. And then the officials huddled, and now we're going to roll the clock and get things rolling, and they don't have to snap the ball now because they rolled the clock with less than 30 seconds left. The Eagles are just going to stand there and let the first quarter expire.
But if you could do that, what a great fake play.
It would have been, but
where they're standing now is where they were,
yeah,
which is outside of the hash.
Right. And now the final 5 seconds ticking off, and that's the end of the first quarter. A good quarter for the Civic Memorial Eagles in this local rivalry.
Right now at Sievers Equipment in Auburn and Jerseyville, score big on Kubota with long-term and low-rate financing available on everything. Kubota's full lineup of construction equipment, compact tractors, utility vehicles, mowers, hay tools, and more. What do you want to accomplish? Well, the right equipment right around the corner in Auburn and Jerseyville. Take on the toughest jobs with Kubota and Sievers Equipment. Visit a Sievers location in Auburn or Jerseyville today, SieversEquipment.com.
Brightway Imaging has been serving the Riverbend's radiology needs for over a decade. Brightway's services include MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, and mammography. Brightway offers a more private and comfortable experience with caring and compassionate techs to guide you through each exam. As an independent imaging center, Brightway Imaging offers lower cost exams with pricing you can understand. Prompt service, convenient parking, knowledgeable staff. Let Brightway show why they are a smarter healthcare solution. Visit us at brightwayimaging.com.
Roberts Motors is proud to say that we've been serving the Alton area for over 68 years. We must be doing something right to be able to say that. Stop by and find out why customers love the experience at Roberts. We pride ourselves in providing our customers all the information they want in an upfront manner, making the process of buying a vehicle easy and surprise-free. High pressure, hidden fees, surprises, not allowed here. Stop by today and let us show you how buying a car is supposed to be. Roberts, the value store since 1949.
I'll grab the birthday cake, you bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Get a clarification on that. You know that the Wood River Breeze game that got started and then 2 minutes in got delayed. You had to see that coming.
You would think. Yeah.
I mean, it was not like it was a pop-up store.
Now Moline leading the Alton Redbirds 22-7. Everybody knew that was going to be tough for Alton to go way up there and play a team that was 9-0 last year. That's and it's still in the first quarter. 22-7, Moline still in the first quarter. 16-0, Civic Memorial Eagles here as we start the second quarter. 2nd and 20 Eagles from their own 45-yard line. Here is the give and the running play off tackle right, and a short gain on that carry. And
I think.
No, that was number 21. That's the new running back in there.
It was 21 was leading. It was one was ball.
It was Parchment. You're right. That's why you're here.
I just happened to. They're closer to me now.
Well, that's true. A 3-yard pickup for Parchment on that carry, and brings about 3rd and 17 Eagles from their own 48-yard line.
I'm just glad they're not getting muddy. It would be really difficult to see numbers if you got muddy.
Double tight, full house backfield. Now they put Parchment in motion to the left side, back to throw. Kirby Phil over the top. He had a man wide open at the 35 and threw it behind him. The intended receiver there was Parchment. Parchment turned to his left, and Turby Phil threw it to his right. Otherwise, he was gone for a touchdown.
Well, he just split the seam and was going right down right between the hashes, and there was nobody anywhere near him.
And for the first time tonight, the Eagles will go into punt formation. Cliff Chandler, back for the Explorers, stands at his own 20 to receive this punt. We have no idea who this punter is for CM because I don't see a 56 on their roster. 56 is their kicker. And now we have, according to the referee, a timeout on the field. Timeout Eagles, their second of the night. 11-18 remaining in the first half. The score, the Eagles 16, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
When an emergency happens during...
Once I got here to Lewis and Clark, I felt connected to this place.
It is about intellectual curiosity and people who want to work with faculty mentors and delve into these areas they're interested in.
And it gives the chance for students to develop a more full version of themselves.
Lewis and Clark for me is going to be the place that I found myself.
Super Duper Auto Mall, I'm This is Tony, he's our finance guy.
Clifford Chandler, the penalty flag down the field.
Is it Bernie Dodger?
Chandler on the return gets to the 19-yard line where he runs out of bounds.
Harden.
Nice kick by the Eagles, and Cliff Chandler fields it at his 10, runs out to the left side, and is run out of bounds out at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 Explorers right there. Marquette still with only 1 first down on the night. And we have a flag on the play. Apparently we did, yes, all the way back at the Marquette 49-yard line. So let's see what that's all about. It was 4th and 17 for the Eagles.
CM players are pointing at Marquette as though the flag is Explorers.
An odd place for a Marquette penalty, though, when the ball was fielded back at the 10, unless they held somebody else.
Even at that, they're not going to get enough unless it comes with an automatic first down.
No.
I don't think they're going to get enough.
No, it'd be a 10-yard walk-off and would leave CM still facing 4th and 7, but if they could repunt, I think the officials are trying to decide, do we enforce the penalty from the line of scrimmage, or do we enforce it from the end of the kick? Now, Marquette coach Darrell Angleton face mask against Marquette. Darrell Angleton out there questioning the referee, who is giving the signals and explaining things.
Does that carry an automatic? Because if they get 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, they're going to be very close to a first down.
It'd be a couple yards short. Or if it was after the kick, then they'll walk off half the distance goal line, either from the end of the run or from where Chandler fielded it. I think that's what they're going to do.
Now, he had marked the ball at the 19th, but
Right.
now they're standing on the 15th.
Yeah, but they're still standing there. They're talking about it, trying to figure it out. Well, nobody seems to know,
It's the
do
first
they?
night for everybody.
Well, we've got two footballs out there. One was Marquette's and one was CM's. We've got towels. And
Maybe
we've
it's a 5-yard face mask, and they're going to put it on the 14.
Penalty will move the ball.
That's where they're standing.
They don't seem to know where they're going to put it.
No, they
So
don't.
we had a 45-minute delay to start the game because of the weather. Now we've got fake timeouts, confusion on penalty. I think they're going to walk it off from the 10, which is where Chandler fielded the football. And they will walk it half the distance to the goal line, and Marquette will start somewhere inside the 10.
Why would they not
Well,
mark
they're
it
going to
from-
put it, well, they put it down at the 7, which isn't half of anything. Doesn't matter, does it? But it's the fourth penalty of the night against Marquette.
How many yards are you going to give on that penalty?
I put 10. That's a close approximation. First and 10 Explorers from their own 7-yard line. And they go from the single wing, and here's a direct snap to Chandler. Chandler trying to run out to the right side. Breaks the tackle and dives forward out to the 15-yard line. And a gain of 8 on that carry. It'll be 2nd and 2. That's the biggest running play of the night for Marquette.
I was just going to say that was one of the better-looking plays that they've run tonight, other than that pass to start the game.
Well, Hewitt had a 12-yard run, but then they got a 15-yard penalty on the play. 12-yard run counted. It was -3 at the end of it. 2nd down and 2, Marquette from their own 15-yard line, again from the single wing. And the direct snap to Chandler. This time he tries to come to the left side, and he is buried in the backfield. Back at about the 11-yard line. Let's see if they give him any forward progress at all. No, they're going to put it down at the 11. So it's a loss on the play of 5 yards and brings about 3rd and 6. It was a 4-yard loss. So 3rd and 6 for the Explorers from their own 11-yard line. 9:55 and counting remaining in the first half. CM leading 16-0, and Marquette with 1 first down on the night. They have not been able to get their offense on track.
I have them unofficially for only 27 yards of offense.
Again from the single wing, this time direct snap Chandler. And Chandler goes all the way back to the goal line, turns the corner, and is bumped out of bounds at the 6. He was very close to being stopped for a safety. The line of scrimmage was the 11. He took the snap and gave ground all the way back to the goal line, and then managed to get out to the 6-yard line for a loss of 5 on that carry. And that was a little inexperience showing there, a sophomore running back. Now the Explorers, Jonah Fanistock, will stand deep in his own end zone. Return for Civic Memorial is Lowen. Stands at the Explorer 40-yard line. Let's see if the Eagles bring everybody. It's a high, short kick, straight up in the air. You know, if that was baseball and I was Harry Carey, I'd say that wouldn't be a home run in a phone booth.
He popped it up.
Yeah. Well, he goes out of bounds. They're going to give him a good spot. I think he got a better spot than what he should have. They're going to put the football down at the 18-yard line. Line of scrimmage was the 6, so it's a 12-yard punt.
He rushed that a little bit. He's in the end zone, and wet football, you can handle that.
The Eagles did bring a lot of rushers, but the Explorers did a good job of protecting Fanistock, but it went off the side of his foot.
They're going to mark it at the 20.
At the 20, that's
even better.
Well, the ball landed out of bounds at about the 20, but it landed about 10 yards. If they'd done thing
I'd say
where they
about the
line it up,
13
they
maybe?
put it at, maybe the 10. But, well, now they put it in.
Okay,
they
they
put it
moved
at
it
the
back.
18. First and 10, Eagles right there. They lead it 16-0. And here is the give and a running play. Nick Walker sweeping the left side. Lots of running room down inside the 15, down to about 12-yard line. And a gain of 6 on that carry for Nick Walker, who has rushed 6 times for 31 yards. Second down and 4 for the Eagles. Well, they put it at 12. That was a gain of 6. Second and a long 4 Eagles at the Marquette 12-yard line. The clock rolling with 8:50 remaining here in the first half. Second quarter action. We had a 45-minute rain delay, weather delay to start the action. Now here's the give. This is Parchman this time, I think. He's down to about the 10, a gain of 2. It was Parchman. He picks up 2 on that carry. Parchman, the leading rusher for the Eagles, 8 carries for 43 yards.
Feels like the wind has changed direction and might be picking up just a little bit.
Well, the flags are hanging limp, but that might just be because they're so waterlogged that they take a gale force to make them move. So now third down, third and almost 3 for the Eagles, just outside the Marquette 10. One receiver to the right side, a wing to the right, split backs behind Turbyfield, who looks over the defense. It looks like he's changing the play. Takes the snap and keeps it himself, looking for some running room out to the left side, and he is trapped behind the line of scrimmage. Good defensive play by Marquette. And they throw Turbyfield down at the 15-yard line. That was a loss of 3 and brings about 4th and about 6 for the Eagles.
Whatever he saw in the formation, he shouldn't have changed the play to that.
He'd been better off not seeing it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when the coach says, son, run the play I called. So now it's 4th and 7 Eagles at the Marquette 15-yard line. And a receiver wide to the right side, a wing to the right. They put the wing in motion, and Turbyfield rolls to his right. Looking into the end zone, lets it go, and it is incomplete. Broken up about 2 yards deep into the end zone. A diving attempt by the Eagle receiver. The intended receiver there was Logan Turbyfield. And I think it hit his hands, but he was hit by a defender at the same time, and the ball came loose, incomplete. The Explorers take over on downs.
Good defensive play, and, that could end up being a big stop for Marquette as well, as CM had a very short field and couldn't get the ball into the end zone. So a good stand there by the Marquette defense, and let's see if it's something that can spark that offense, because the defense has spent almost all this first half on the field, and the offense just has not been able to move the football.
So the Explorers still with 1 first down, and that was on the first play of scrimmage, first play from scrimmage of the ball game. The Explorers took the opening kickoff, 1st and 10 from their own 15. Back to throw, Hewitt swings it out to Chandler, and Chandler hit at the 15. No gain on the play, he might have gained a foot. It'll be 2nd down and 10. I guess the old rule, when you had an incomplete pass in the end zone on 4th down, it came out to the 20. I guess they don't do that anymore.
That must be a really old rule.
It's really old. So old that even you don't remember.
No,
huh?
That's got to be old.
That just shows you how old I am. 2nd down, they change rules all the time. I can't keep track of it. Maybe that was back when they still wore the leather helmets without the face guard. 2nd down and 10, Explorers from their own 15-yard line. That was a completed pass for no gain. Here is Hewitt. Now he's going to keep it himself, and he didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. He fumbles for the 2nd time tonight.
I think he was down, though.
And let's see who's got the football. Marquette says they've got it, but the line judge on the far side is marking it down where Hewitt went down before he coughed it up.
I think it's going to be a loss of about
loss a yard, maybe. Half a yard. Call it a loss of a yard. That's the 2nd time Hewitt's coughed the football up, and lucky for him, that time it was after the whistle. And now third down and almost 11 for the Explorers inside their own 15-yard line. The clock rolling with 5:35 remaining. Here in the first half, CM leading at 16-0. Hewitt takes the snap, three-step drop, lets it go out to the right side, and it is too high for Devin Fields. He couldn't pull it down. Even if he had, he was shy of the line to gain. And Marquette, for what, the fourth time, will go into punt formation. So Hewitt has completed 2 of 6 passes for 10 yards.
Well, part of their problem, they haven't really moved the ball at all, but they haven't been able to move it on the first 2 downs of the drive, and so they've really been faced with 3rd and long. I mean, even these 4th and long, you're looking at 4th and 11 now, and that's been one of the shorter ones.
So Fanistock stands at his own goal line. This time he gets a good snap, and he gets a pretty good kick away, end over end. Hits out at the Marquette 40, takes an Explorer bounce, and will roll dead at the Eagles' 48-yard line. So for only the second time tonight, the Eagles will start a possession in their own territory. They did on their first possession, started at their own 35 and put together a 65-yard drive.
Now with the roll, that turned out to be about a 45-yard punt, so not a bad punt.
So the Explorer defense, which has not been on the field an awful lot, back out there again. Marquette still with only 1 first down, and that was on their first play from scrimmage. The Eagles, whose last possession ended with an incomplete pass in the end zone on 4th down, start 1st and 10 from their own 48. Kirbyfield takes the snap, keeps it himself, and is hit behind the line of scrimmage and loses a couple. I think he wanted to hand that off, and I think the ball popped out of his hand, so he just grabbed it, tried to follow that running back into the hole, but there wasn't much of a hole there, and he loses a yard.
It sure looked like he wanted to hand it off, and it looked like the running back didn't want to take it. He didn't make any motion towards the football at all. He just went into the lines. I don't know if it was a busted play or they bobbled the ball, but there was definitely some miscommunication.
2nd and 11 Eagles from their own 47-yard line. We're down to 4.5 minutes and counting. Remaining here in the first half, the Eagles leading it 16-0.
Smell those hot dogs?
I do smell the hot dogs. You going to run down and get us a couple?
I'm not going to run.
Oh, okay. Turbyfield back to throw, lets it go over the middle, incomplete. He overthrew everybody. He was under heavy pressure, though. He just unloaded the football and threw it where nobody was going to catch it, about 10 yards behind any players, defenders or intended receivers. And there was only one receiver out on that play, and he was covered by 2 Explorers. So Turbyfield, I think, made a wise decision there and just threw that away. He's completed 1 of 5 for 14 yards, completed 2 more for 2-point conversions.
Now, the passing game really has not been a factor for either team. It's been CM's ground game that's really done the damage here in the first half.
Now 3rd and 11 for the Eagles from their own 47-yard line. And heard a whistle, but I guess that was just marking the ball ready for play. The Eagles in the spread formation, Turbyfield, and they're going to throw a halfback option, and down the middle it goes, and it's caught. The Eagles make a completion all the way down to the Marquette 15-yard line.
Flag.
Making the reception was Keith Lowen, but there's a flag all the way back in the Eagle backfield, back at their own 36-yard line. It was an end around, and throwing the football was Logan Turbyfield, who came from his wide receiver side on the far side of the field, took a pitch from his brother, the quarterback Noah Turbyfield, and he threw it downfield. The Eagles had 3 receivers deep, and there was 1 Marquette defender. And
I think maybe one of the guys in motion moved forward before the snap.
Tell you what, these officials will be well acquainted when the night's over because they spend a lot of time talking to each other. It's procedure against the Eagles. A 5-yard walk-off will negate a gain of about 34 yards.
Biggest play of the night.
Yeah, it would have been a first down, and it's procedure against CM. I don't know if they didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage or if somebody moved.
They may have had two guys in motion at the same time because the one guy was coming in motion near us. I thought the wide receiver left too soon.
Well, that could have been what it was. But at any rate,
He wanted to get down there to make that catch.
that's a killer for the Eagles, because otherwise they'd have had it 1st and 10 down inside the Marquette 20-yard line. Instead, it's 3rd and 16 for the Eagles from their own 41. They're going to move the down marker?
I was just going to say, that guy's sleeping over there.
Well, that's because Coach Reinhardt's out on the field questioning the side judge as to what's going on. Everybody else is ready to play, and the guy with the down marker has not been instructed by the side judge. Now he is. After he freed himself of Rick Reinhardt, he was able to go over and tell the sideline official to move the down marker.
It's not the first time you've ever seen that, is it?
No, not at all. So now 3rd and 16 Eagles from their own 41.
I'll bring up 4th down.
The receiver was Kieran Parchment.
I think it was number 3.
For Marquette, who is Gerald Nave, who is a little pepper pot.
And if he'd have been looking up, he could have taken that football in for a touchdown. It was just sitting right there, but he was so focused on making the big hit right in the chest that he didn't see the football.
So for the second time tonight, the Eagles go into punt formation. Their mystery kicker, number 56, who's not on their roster, takes the snap, gets the kick away. It's a nice kick, and Chandler will return for Marquette. On the run at the 30, at the 35, and he's buried out at the 38-yard line. I'll tell you what, Chandler had a full head of steam when he took the ball at the 30, and whoever that was for CM that buried him out at the 38-yard line, it was probably a good thing, because if Chandler had a couple more steps, he might have been gone.
There's been some big hits already in this first half.
And I'm amazed at how well the field is held up. We still have a steady rain falling. Nothing heavy, but very steady. And so far, so good on the field. Nobody's slipped. Nobody's muddy. They're all just wet. 1st and 10 Explorers. We're down to 3:03 remaining in the first half. The Eagles lead at 16-0. And from the 38-yard line, Hewitt back to throw. Quick pass out to the left side. He completes it. Bobbled by the receiver, but he held on before he went to the ground. And Brett Terry.
No, he dropped it.
Oh, he did drop
it.
Incomplete.
When he turned, yep. Tried to run before he had it. Should have been completed.
2nd down and 10 Explorers on their own 38. Still with 1 first down here on the first half. Repeating myself. It was on their first play from scrimmage. A 10-yard completion from Hewitt to Fields.
When you're having that much trouble moving the ball, you can't afford things like this.
No. Now trips to the right, another receiver to the left for Marquette. EM has played well here tonight. Explorers have struggled, especially offensively. Deep pass down the left side for Fields. He's got it at the 35. Oh, they say he's out of bounds, and the Explorers sideline goes ballistic. I think that's a bad call. From here, it sure looked like he managed to stay in.
Well, I thought it was a great catch. He even intentionally made it obvious that he had both feet down, unless he had a toe on the line. But if he did, that's all he had.
Well, and I'll say this. The official was better positioned than we are, right?
Yeah, that's true.
He was right there on the sideline, not 5 yards away, looking right down. And so maybe Fields did have a foot on the line.
Replay.
So goes to an incomplete pass. Thank God we don't have replay in high school football. Oh, my goodness.
Maybe
Talk about delays.
Maybe they could have used it to figure out that whole timeout.
So now it's 3rd and 10 Explorers from their own 38. Hewitt back to throw. He's got time. Sets lets it go out to the right side. Completes it to
he dropped
Fields.
it too.
Did he drop it?
Hopefully they'll be able to return next.
He was about a yard shy of the line to gain. He did drop it. So that's 2 drops. And a close call on the sideline, called out of bounds. So it's 3 and out for the Explorers. Jonah Fanistock's going to need to soak that leg tonight. kicked a lot. What is it? Probably about
Fifth
the sixth
punt?
fifth or sixth. One being some kind of quasi drop kick.
Yeah, that
on
was
a fumbled snap.
That was still very interesting.
Good snap this time, high short kick.
That's a better kick, though.
And the Eagles this time will return. And that was Lowen. Caught it at the 35, hit immediately
another
at the 36.
Over on the Eagles bench, I think.
Thought maybe he was going to fall for a fair catch, but he didn't.
I think your buddy in the yellow slicker might have picked up a yellow flag. I'm surprised he didn't fair catch that.
Well, I do too. And it's a sideline warning on the Eagles. First time it's a warning, right? Usually they warn them the first time. They've got to be 3 yards back off the sideline to allow that official to run up and down the sideline. And if he's running on the sideline there and bumps into somebody, he's going to throw a flag. First time it's a warning. The second time it's a penalty. I don't know if it was the guy in the yellow slicker or not. It might have been. 1st and 10 Eagles. Now we're down to 2:10 remaining. The Eagles with one timeout remaining here in the first half. CM leading at 16-0. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Turbyville under center with a full house backfield. Pitches it back, and it hits the turf, and Turbyville covers it all the way back at his 30. And, you know, the Eagles had their offense moving early on through most of the first quarter, but here in the second quarter, they've had some glitches, and that was another one there as the pitch back hit the running back, and the hands might have been a little high, hit him in the shoulder pad, popped up in the air, and Turbyville covered it for a 7-yard loss.
I think that was the tight end, number 13, who was in motion. It wasn't that bad of a pitch. That's certainly not the way they wanted to start on 1st and 10.
2nd down and 17 for the Eagles, down to a minute and a half and counting remaining here in the first half. The Eagles with that 16-0 lead. Turbyville now in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's hit in the backfield and brought down. A flag is thrown. Turbyville might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.